Hi, in this video, we are looking at the Heir of Apocalypse miniseries, issue 1 through 4, written by Steve Foxe and drawn by Netho Diaz, ink by J.P. Myers, Sean Parsons, and Lorenzo Ruggiero. Full spoilers ahead, so you're forewarned. From the whole testing of Earth's greatest warriors guided by Apocalypse line to the I came back from to my true self for Gorgon, I was afraid that these 4 issues would be a big reset button for everything that had happened during the Age of Krakoa. Hi, Future Tyler here. It does feel that way, doesn't it? Though to be fair, Apocalypse already felt that way in X-Men 35 and Uncanny 700 if we are going via legacy numbering. Gone is sad Daddy Apocalypse, and in his place, the return of Survivor of the Fittest Apocalypse. And it felt that way until partway through issue 3. And I'm like, okay, we are not abandoning everything during the Age of Krakoa. There was a hint of a slightly different apocalypse on reread in issue 1 during the discussion between Sunfire, Angel, and Apocalypse, which I quite enjoy. It gets a little expository at times, and I'm not sure if it actually helps in bringing new readers up to speed regarding Araco and Krakoa, but I like it. Should we go down the list of the contestants here? Sure. First up, Armageddon Girl, formerly Nature Girl turned eco-terrorist. She cares for Earth more than anything else, so that automatically makes her the wrong choice. If we are going to select the person to replace Apocalypse to guide mutants to its highest potential, it should be someone who cares for more than just Earth. Well, Apocalypse said, and I quote, guide Earth to its highest potential, not just mutants. So one could argue that she's a good fit, even though in the end, maybe only Earth, the planet, is left with like no humans, mutants, inhumans, etc. But I agree, wrong choice, bad fit. I mean, we can argue about what Apocalypse meant, but I do think by Earth, Apocalypse meant mutants. He made that pretty explicit in issue 3. Anyway, Armageddon Girl is the first one out. Thanks to Diamond Sinister, the mutant Sinister's betrayal, using some green stuff, which I assume is a weaponized Blight Swill, like what Orcus used. I'm surprised that Exodus didn't just tear Sinister apart on the spot, given his role in Downfall of Krakoa, and in some ways the demise of Hope, his messiah. Yeah, I mean the fact that the whole group of people let him hang around, and then Sinister basically announcing that he's going to betray someone. Firstly, like, why would he do that? Like, why announce it to everyone? And then it went from what I assume he was using, a weaponized black swirl, to a control disc, which looks exactly like the green stuff he used to kill Armageddon Girl and Exodus, so to make like Gorgon go berserk. Yeah, I mean, after Sassy Sinister we had from like Wells and Jillian, this is a pure copy. Even that fun moment when Emma made him jump to his death was whatever, you know. As for Gorgon, I do not care for the retcon over here, but also whatever. Hickman is probably the only one who wants to use him and write him well anyway. Agree. Exodus, he will not follow Apocalypse path, and he does not need to, in my mind. Well, which is exactly why Apocalypse cast him not as an heir, but as an opposing force. Too bad he gets taken out by Diamond Sinister, but not before he took out Genocide and as collateral damage penance. With all the references to Uncanny X-Force, I guess we know whose X-Run Fox loves. I actually misremembered who Genocide was and thought he was Holocaust from Age of Apocalypse. I think they are technically the same person, except that Genocide is from 616 universe, while Holocaust is from the Age of Apocalypse. I've not reread AOA for a long time, and I'm older, so faulty memory and such. He wasn't rescued by Apocalypse though, so until there's a retcon, he died here. Penance, I'm not even sure why she was here. Something about her holding other mutants to higher standards, which made me think of the try harder scene with Jean during Housebox. But yeah, don't buy that reasoning. Back to opposing force argument. Apocalypse made the same pitch, essentially, to Cable too. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him as an heir to Apocalypse. Just not his style. Besides, he jumps around the timeline too much to guide anyone at any one time. Emma? She should never have been a choice. Emma has always been about the kids, Helens, Gen X, why she was on the Quiet Council, and possibly why she has a role in Exceptional X-Men. She will protect all mutant children, not guide them to like higher or whatever, which is not the same as guiding them to the highest potential. I also do not love that Emma just like shuts down with Pennant's death here. She would have punched a hole in Sinister's chest in her diamond form, which she was in for the majority of this miniseries. Um, when I read to the end of issue 2, I was like, there's no way they allowed Penance to be killed off like that. I mean, the same goes for Wolverine. I do buy the reason why Laura participated in this, but she's her own person. Why made her do something because Logan asked her to? Why not made it simply her choice to do it? Plus, who in the group would let Logan know about Apocalypse and what he's doing? Jimbro Forge. uh, and if we accept the reason for why Laura participated, she would not wait to gut Sinister. I mean, that should have been the very first act. Okay, Forge. All I have to say is that the Forge flashback scenes leads nicely into X-Force. Richter, I would say among all the choices, Richter actually would be my first guess. It is an easy guess, but and he had been Apocalypse apprentice like right from the beginning at the age of Krakoa, and he inherited everything Apocalypse left behind. Plus, he's a druid now, so he tried here, but he was overpowered. I thought Danny was a good choice, but I felt she has too much empathy to do what Apocalypse had in mind. Between her and Doug, I think Danny is a better choice as a team leader because, as you said, of her empathy. Doug is actually a better choice as a leader to guide people, even though he made wrong choices during the Age of Krakoa. He was at least willing to make them. With Sabretooth, with the Exiles, with X-Men Green, it makes sense. But this is taking evidence from the Age of Krakoa. In this miniseries, all he did was set off two traps and was rescued multiple times by others. Exactly. Also, what is the point of this contest or trial? Right? Doug did not win the contest. He was chosen by Apocalypse based on what he did before. So this entire 4 issues could simply be all flashback scenes and be done in 1 or 2 issues. The whole thing is a little bit tired and pointless. Throughout the fall of X, I kept thinking, where is Bay? And I'm glad to see her here and that Warlock is resurrected. I like that Dark as Revelation, now with like the thick apocalypse like lips, has his protectors with him. The art is serviceable. It is very 1990s style of art with a lot of lines and cross-hatching. And, this happens back to the X book when the Image founders left and Marvel had to scramble to find artists that could emulate their style. And then it became more or less a sort of a house style for the X books for a while, until pencilers with a little bit more personality, stylistics wise, um, came on. I agree. There are some quite nice panel layouts like the curved panels in the quicksand scene, but overall, I think the art came across as uninspired. Perhaps too much is asked of Diaz. There are a lot of characters you need to draw across 4 issues, and I think he's not yet a strong enough artist to do that many characters justice. I mean, to be fair though, not everyone can be a George Perez or Pepe Larraz with superhero group scenes. Why would the 4 original Horsemen of Apocalypse be erected as statues to the entrance as monuments in Egypt? Now that the 4 horsemen and women are canon, they can appear everywhere. My random question is, how exactly did Angel get to Araco without a gate? I assume Sunfire either took the long way or he had been living on Araco. So in conclusion, I think this is a 1.5 out of 5. While there are some interesting bits to the story, it it did not have any enough material to warrant a 4 issue miniseries. It should have been relegated to either an Infinity Comics, where most readers could either ignore it or shorten it to like 2 issues without, all the pointless backstabbing and batter and whatever. Because ultimately, the choice of who is going to take over as the heir of Apocalypse has the battle has like no bearing on it. I agree. The arts didn't quite help here as well, and on my second reading, I struggled a little to get through to the end. So if you enjoy this video, please show some support by liking it, subscribing it, sharing the video, and commenting. Tyler out.